All right. Hi, everyone. Hello, it's Shannon Port. Oh, it's nice to see you. I have not been here live in a while. I was just thinking about it. It has been since the final activation for I Am Goddess meditation on it was December 21st. And so it's so good to be here. We are here today for the Virgo Full Moon. I named it Galactic Core Code Activation. We're going to be working with Divine Feminine Astrology as we always do. And it's such a sacred time to be here. I feel like we need to catch up a little bit, but I'll just talk for a couple minutes and then we'll get right into the energies and the transmission. We're going to be working with the cosmic energy to do what I call the Divine Feminine Alchemy. And that is what, for those of you who have been watching my work for a while, know that that's how we use astrology on this channel and this platform. We use it to do the Divine Feminine Alchemy. And it's really about regenerating and raising up the animal nature that we have. And there's nothing wrong with our animal nature, but what we are doing is we are purifying it and doing polarity integration so that we have access to the true frequency and vibration of who we are. Sometimes I call it the divine feminine frequency, but so that we have this energy. And Virgo is so sacred, the archetypal wisdom that we'll be working with, because it's about understanding it's a certain vibration of consciousness that when we touch it, it is so healing. And Virgo is about healing and health, but Virgo is really about healing. And that's really what it means, is that it's this frequency. When we touch it, it heals us and it heals others. And it's really, when I work with it on the archetypal level, I really work with it as the Virgin because it's really the purified use of our mind. The last time I remember doing a Virgo full moon activation a few years ago called Super Mind Power, but that's really what we're working with. We need to, in order to live in a way where we're happy, truly happy, not just superficially satisfied or satiated by things and experiences, but truly happy and that's what the Galactic Core Code is. It's when we open that core code within us and we drink the energy of the true vibration of the soul. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm just going to take a peek down. Let me know. I'm curious to see if anybody shows up today, and let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love seeing where everyone's coming in from. Oh, so nice to see you. Tiferet. Yes, Tiferet. Tiferet is the sun on the tree of life. It's the sixth sphere. And Tiferet, I mean, maybe you know that, maybe that's why you said that, but yeah, to activate, and that's why I work with the solar feminine codes. It's really activating the spiritualized consciousness. And I want to say, nice to see you from Serbia, Athens, Ohio, nice. Okay, so really quick, I'll let you know what we're doing, because this is the first live video I'm doing since I've been back. So I posted one in January, one in February, but it was pre-recorded. So this is how I plan to operate in 2021 on the Shannon Port YouTube channel. We're going to be doing the beginning of the month. We do the Goddess Report. The Goddess Report is really a divine feminine energy update for the planet. We look at the entire month, and it's, even if you don't like astrology, we're really looking at the energies. And so at the beginning of every month, we'll do that. And then we'll hit the new moon and the full moon and do the divine feminine astrology reports. And then the one most dear to my heart are the solar feminine activation. And so we'll be doing one solar feminine activation each month. And so if you're new to the channel, and there's quite a few new people since I've been on, welcome. And I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell and join us when we go live. And so I'm going to take one more peek down, and then we'll look at the codes. Oregon. Nice. LA. I grew up in Washington State as a young girl, from LA, Florida, Canada. Oh, nice to see you. So glad you could make it. I posted this in my in one of the groups I'm working with right now. I'm in a 3-month mentorship right now. So my energy super tuned into the planet right now because I'm doing my yearly 3-month mentorship with a group of women from all over the planet. I know, I see you. I have people messaging me on different platforms. So I'm getting feedback from around the world and from feminine embodiments that is beyond powerful. And I just want to say this in working with the Virgo full moon, we are right now, don't be fooled by the outer world. There's a lot going on, but let me tell you, when you connect with people, I am always blown away to see the people that walk this planet Earth with us. Do not underestimate your fellow human beings. I mean, the women I'm working with right now, I mean, many of them came out of nowhere. I've never met these women before, working together and are bringing in the energies of their own life and their own alchemy and their own work. And it's unbelievable. So this is the time to really connect with that kind of energy on the planet. I would not get too caught up in some of the dark side of things because it's going to play itself out. It's all in the astrology. It's working itself out right now. But the truth of the age of Aquarius, and this is huge for this full moon right now in Virgo, is that, especially with Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, we are building this new planet. We are building it from the ground up, and with a lot of the Galactic Core Code transmission energy, we're really, really awakening at this time. And so that being said, we'll just take a moment and just bow in. Let's call in I am. I am is the mantra of Virgo. It really is. It really is the sacred energy of the divine cosmic fire. And so just taking a moment, I'm going to ask you guys to say, I am in the 7 directions. We always do this on this channel, and it takes about 7 to 10 seconds. And so repeating after me, I am before me. I am behind me. I am at my left. I am at my right. I am above me. I am below me. I am unto me. And take a deep breath in. We take a deep breath in. Just bow into your heart. Access the inner plane, which is one of the energies we'll be working with today. Huge. Bringing some awareness. When we hold the breath, it shifts our awareness. And then exhale it all out. I am, I know I am. I am, I know I am. You know, that's one thing about holding the breath is when you hold the breath like that, you become aware of the fact that you breathe. We breathe all day, every day, and most of the time we're not thinking about the fact that the universe gives us our vitality, our pranic force through our breath. But the moment we hold the breath, we have a new appreciation for it. We're like, oh, I'm going to definitely want to breathe again. And it reminds us that there's a conscious way to work with the breath. And so what it does is when you hold the breath and you do it on purpose, it shifts your awareness from the outer world to the inner world. You become very aware that there's another dimension to who you are. And this dimension is actually, it's actually part of this Virgo full moon archetype. And so, all right, so Virgo, first of all, let's just start off by saying that the full moon, the Virgo full moon happens on February 27th, and it will be trine to Uranus in Taurus. Okay, so now I have to mention this. Uranus in Taurus will be at 7 degrees. The full moon is at 8 degrees of Virgo, and the sun will be opposite at 8 degrees in Pisces. And we'll talk about the Pisces Virgo axis. So Uranus really is, and that's why I called it the Galactic Core Code activation, because when we're working with Uranus, we're working with the galactic core and beyond. So we're working with all levels of it to really call upon the divine stream of energy that we work with in Divine Feminine Astrology. And that is to call in the archetypal coding to upgrade our consciousness and to purify it. And so the Virgo full moon has a really divine, purifying, healing energy to it when we use it properly. And we'll talk about the different uses of Virgo energy. It's in a trine, another earth sign with this sign that's really a disruptor in the sign of Taurus and on planet Earth for the next about 5-6 years. Uranus is a disruptor and it's changing the game, and it's also cosmic energy walking the ground. So can you imagine the cosmic ascended goddess walking on the earth with us and the divine power that she brings in? That's kind of what's happening. Once it's downgraded into this level of energy, it can become very disturbed energy and it can really stir up the underworld. And that's why we're seeing a lot of, in fact, it controls the electric grids. And we saw on, I believe it was about around February 17th, we saw the Texas electric grids go down, squared by Saturn. Saturn is in Aquarius, and it was a direct hit to Uranus and Taurus. And Saturn rules contraction and laws and lessons and karma, but also new forms. And Saturn is in Aquarius, where it's Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. There was a little conversation going on there, and we saw what can happen. And there are things happening all over the world right now. All over the world right now. Natural disasters, upheavals, coups, political chaos and discord, human rights situations all over this planet right now. In fact, we have very powerful things happening where a lot of human beings are hungry right now. And Virgo, when you think of Virgo in the grain, the goddess in the grain in the fields, you think of feeding. It's food and digestion. And so there's a connection with Virgo and feeding the children. And I, it's not to preach about that, but it's to bring it into our awareness that there's a greater reality on this earth, and greater than any of the things that we're seeing are the way human beings, we treat each other. And yes, there are the dark forces are always fighting each other, and that's on right now, bigger than it's ever been. When I look into the underworld and the Akashic record, it's like it's so big right now. But the thing is that it's coming to such a climax that the next layer is rising up. The foundation, which is connected to Virgo because it's connected to the moon, we have different levels of a lunar foundation. And when that rises, we have a new reality birthing, and that's what's happening right now. You can see in the background, I have the birth of Venus in the background. And that's what 2020 was about. And going forward, we're healing the mind this year. And this square of Uranus and Taurus is really about that. But you can see how it connects to what's happening in the world, very much so. So I'll just take a moment and slow down. So let's look at that. That trine is big. And then there's a square to Uranus still happening with Saturn. Saturn in Aquarius is kind of grooming us for the beginning of this age. It's bringing in the shadow sides of Aquarius, which will be having to understand technology, energy. Uranus governs, electrical energy, technology, innovation, and inventions, how we use that, because we're going to have, if you look back to the mythology of Atlantis, if you want, you can look at it however you'd like to, but the fall of Atlantis came through technology and electrical power. And so Saturn challenging Uranus is really a reminder that as we move forward with our technology, we need to have a vision of where we're headed. We need to not just go crazy and get on a high. It can also rule that false high you get when you invent something, and it's not a false high, but invention alone means nothing. We need invention. We were talking about this in my mentor group. We were talking about how we need the patriarchy. We did a healing activation where we were working with our healing connection with the masculine energy on the planet. And at the end, it was so beautiful because we all instantly were like, we really need the patriarchal forces that have been created. We need to honor. And I'm talking about the structures and the invention. Because it was when two of the people participating had been without power in Texas. And we were talking about how much we appreciate electricity, how much we appreciate the internet, being able to turn our lights, to drink water, and to count on certain things. And we can't dismiss that. That would be ignorance to dismiss the inventions and innovation and technology that we use every single day. So it's important to not hate on things, because we have to be careful what we wish for. We're meant to merge it with greater wisdom of the goddess Sophia. And that is what Divine Feminine Astrology is about, is understanding the wisdom that is inherent in the powers that we carry, in our animal connection to this world, and just taking it up to the next level so that we can have love and power together. And we have to temper ourselves. We're always tempering those things, because until we really get it, we don't get it. And so that's what life is all about. Anyone who's been through some cycles of alchemy knows, you look back and you're like, I really didn't get it all the way. I had to go through that. And now I get it. Now I have, as Saturn teaches, and on the tree of life, Binah is understanding. Understanding is true wealth, and understanding is true foundation. Understanding with knowledge and wisdom give us a real foundation. It's not an egoic high, or that we get in matter from stuff, from addictions, from sexuality, from cravings, from not being able to satiate wanting more. And those things there's nothing wrong with any of them. But when we have a true foundation, we birth on a much higher level. And so I'm going to just take a peek down. I'm talking a lot because I haven't been here in a while. It's really good to be here and excited. So Virgo rules our daily mind power. And with this full moon opposite Pisces, the way we use our mind day to day determines our life. How we use our mind will determine our emotions, and how we use our emotions will determine our feelings, and then we project reality. So Virgo is about purifying your mind. Now, the greatest secrets we keep are from ourselves. So oftentimes we see the culprit, or we see the enemy or the evil on the outside. But when I'm working with Divine Feminine Astrology, the underbelly is within our own consciousness. And the way Virgo and Pisces are working is to purify the underbelly. We have to understand what we hide from ourselves, or we will be trapped on the wheel. We'll keep incarnating over and over, trying to work it out, creating more karma as we go, which we all do. Every time we misspeak, every time we attack, every time we don't find the eye of the needle and make it through, we create more things that we're going to have to come back and resolve, just so we can learn. It's all about understanding power and energy. And so we have to learn to use our mind, especially right now in the world. We talked about this with the North Node in Gemini. In this world right now, we have technology beamed at us constantly, and the world is changing right now. And so we're taking in so many messages. You're scrolling through social media, you're seeing so many opinions, so many pictures, so many visuals, hearing so many sounds, seeing the same archetypes over and over and over, beaming at you. And if we don't choose what we take in, we will just become what we look at. And so that is what happens in this world. We become what we're looking at. And so more than ever, in order to do the work we're talking about, you have to step back and really find the inner plane. Really find the inner plane. Thank you. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, I am in the seven directions is a good portal and a good place to enter in, but we have to be sincere and we have to be earnest about ourselves. Because until we can enter that place, it doesn't matter what we see in the world. It doesn't matter how many conspiracies we're aware of. It doesn't matter how much spiritual information we can speak out. It doesn't, it's all part of this reality. And I'm not trying to put anything down, but the only thing, the currency of this time is really your frequency. And that really is about how much love you carry in balance. It's about how you can balance and walk and discern and discriminate what you take in so that you can know this purity and give it out. Ultimately, it will have an effect on our relationships with other people. And it will take us into a place where we really are aware of how we play at this game of life. We can only control our own actions. It's so easy to project and see it on everyone else. But when we understand how we're playing the game, we will understand what our karma is and why everything around us is happening. The moment you claim your own seek things that you've buried and hidden from yourself in that Piscean realm, that which is powering your entire life, the more you'll be able to make good on it, balance it, and claim that energy back. It's really soul purification and activation. Let me see if there's anything I want to say about that. Requires honesty, and truthfully, a lot of times we don't know what we're guilty of until we've been through it several rounds, and then it brings us to our knees and we crack open and see it. I use the word guilty. I don't use it lightly, but what I mean is the part we're playing. And once we have that, we have a real one of our high level galactic core codes to understand what we're doing. And this is the power of doing this work. So, all right, I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to look down and then look at what else we're going to talk about. Probably not. We probably won't stay on much longer, but unless you guys have questions, I'm just going to see who's here. So nice to see you. Denmark, Ireland. Oh my gosh. Tuscany, Italy. Oh, one of my favorite places, which I haven't been to in so long. Wow, it's amazing how when you're not traveling, you think of all the places you'd love to go. Oh, hi, nice to see you. So nice to see you in Oregon and Ohio. All right, and nice to see you, Tulum, Mexico. Wow, we've got some really special energy on the planet. Let me just take a moment and see what we want to say. So how can we use this? Let's do a little Virgo full moon activation. How can we use this energy? We're going to really, really look at how we use our mind, especially with the North Node in Gemini. Gemini is the other sign ruled by Mercury, and what we digest. We're going to choose what we eat with our eyes and with our ears. And we are going to take in to see the truth, but also there's much higher wisdom to understanding our reality. And love is one of the greatest ways to bring you back to understanding the power of how you speak, of how you think, how you use this energy. When we really understand how we love another human being, if you love your child, if you love your partner, if you love your friends, your work community, real love isn't so easy to come by. We love a lot of people on a pretty, especially the more we awake, we do have universal love. But when you have intimate love, it lets you in. You get to see your shadow deeper. And so those relationships really teach us about where our triggers are, where our wounds are. So when we tune in how we can love better and be loved better in those relationships, it just brings in our desire to want to have more truth in our life and to use our power well. I think about every day, especially with, at my life and the work I'm doing and what I'm bringing onto the planet. That's been a lifetime worth of work. And then watching my son grow older, and then in partnerships that you are only given so much time on this planet. And as we get older, we all become aware of that. When we're in a certain stage, we're like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. I can do anything. As you get older and as you watch your children grow up, you realize, first of all, how many years left you have with them in this certain kind of connection and relationship. And, in on this planet, how much time we have to walk this planet. We've seen a lot of people leave the planet this year and a lot of people leaving now. And what does that mean for whatever kind of spiritual belief you have? What does that mean if your life was to end? Well, of course, we know the soul is infinite, but have you done what you would like to do in this lifetime? Have you really made love with your environment and with people? Have you, if you can clear karma in this lifetime, and all that means is if you can come into a higher frequency in your relationships and clear some of the things that your soul patterns have brought in, the next time around is going to be, you're going to be, catapulted to a new level. And that's real. You don't have to be with me on that one, but it's true. So when we use our lifetime wisely, we can even project. I've been working with this. It's pretty far out, but you can project what you're going to hold at the next level, whether you're coming here or going somewhere else. You can actually connect with that. And that really makes this work seem valid and important. So we're going out now a little bit. Oh, nice to see you from Greece. All right. So there's that. Understand the use of your mind. Understand illusions, and understand the frequency of a lot of the things coming into our realm in the outer world right now through the through the verbal power of the word platforms. How are they activating you or triggering you, and how are they creating your reality? Pisces is the artist, and it really shows us that we create our reality. So if we don't have our inner workings in order, then it's, our reality will be created for us. And I've talked a lot about that in past videos. So really coming into that, and how we can heal, how we can pay attention to our body. When our body feels good, we just do better at life. Sometimes we have a suffering cycle. Sixth house Virgo is health. So sometimes we have a limitation placed upon us, and that would be Saturn, that is creating the space. So Saturn creates crises or limitation, because then our emotional body comes up, and then we have to make a choice. When we're forced into a situation that's karmic, we have to choose. Perhaps we haven't chosen and we were meant to, but we just haven't gotten around to it. We were too busy having a heyday in the hypnotic trance, playing in this world. And so things that needed to be done, we just didn't tend to. Saturn will come in and make sure that happens. And that's what it's doing in Aquarius right now, squaring Uranus and Taurus on the planet. It's making sure that the crises come so that we're like, oh, wow, we have to decide. And that's happening in many different ways. It's happening on the planet. We have the way we use our resources on the planet is going to have to shift. It's shifting in the age of Aquarius. And so whether or not you're on board with the whole climate thing, it really doesn't matter. All we have to do is look on the planet and see the level of, and this goes to the Virgo purification, the level of environmental toxins we create in a very selfish and greedy way. Not to get too down, but really meaning the controlling powers that use the earth, the mother, the goddess, and that's Virgo, earth, and even Taurus, earth energy, goddess energy, that we have to have a different relationship with the earth. There are, when it comes to the climate and changing and just earth changes, there are very natural things happen. There are things that we are creating, and it's a blend of both. And so rather than getting in the polarity of this against this, science against, spirit, we need to understand it's about balancing them. It's a little bit of both. And so why fight either one? Why not just start creating? Let me tell you, if you do that, you will be so gifted in the age of Aquarius, because this age is about new innovation that is in alignment with respecting our own bodies and respecting the planet. So, all right, I'm just gonna take a couple more minutes and then we'll start to close out. Yeah, let's ask to receive the higher knowledge and the higher energy transmission. Let's ask that we use our firepower, our divine light of our mind projection, to create at the highest level we can. We don't have to be perfect, but if we can just bring it into balance with our heart, and then clearing our underbelly to really know what we've got, we're going to be really, really really, really aligned with the goddess and doing the work of this time, which is about love. We're bringing the mother consciousness back onto the planet. Um, I talk a lot about the Divine Mother in this work I do, and it's really understanding the truth of the mother energy, how it has been misunderstood on our planet, why the planet is so, ravaged with our search for nothing. We're searching for something, but we're using the planet rather than appreciating the planet. We need to go back to some of the old ancient first goddess traditions and native traditions of honoring the land. That's also really powerful right now. And because when we honor the land, we honor our body. When we honor our body, we honor the light coming in. The light coming in needs a good body for both the planet and our own physical being. And so, with all of that being said, I'm just going to ask you to all just take a moment. We're going to activate this Virgo full moon on December 27th. I'm just going to ask you to see yourself receiving the highlight of the full moon. Full moon is a time of great culmination and birth. It's when something comes full term and we receive the knowledge we're meant to. It's a time of meditation and transmission. And so we just ask to align our energies in purity and love and creative power, that we're able to really bring in this energy to the planet at the time of the full moon. It's a really powerful time to do a ritual and honor yourself and honor this lifetime and use that light right at the time of the full moon. I don't have the time written down today. I usually do, but really take a moment and just bow in. The energy is always so, it's sometimes it's misused, but don't worry about that. Use it for the moon governs the tides of energy coming to the planet. So just going to take a moment bowing to the goddess within you, the goddess within me, and close this video out with many, many blessings. And I look forward to seeing you next time. If you know anybody that you think would be into this kind of astrology, and there's a lot more to it, please share the video or please invite them to watch this. These videos really are about healing. We're not necessarily chasing dates and times. We do in the Goddess Report talk about what's going to be happening in the world, but I would love this to reach as many people as possible to really, really heal and come into the greater understanding. We're spreading this consciousness around the globe right now. And so, and that being said, please, if you enjoyed the video this time, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And so I look forward to seeing you again next time. Many blessings and namaste.